Hello plant community, thanks for tuning into this channel. My name is Pam and today I have a very fun and interactive one for you guys. If you've been watching my episodes lately, you've noticed that I may have shown some planters or pots that I kind of like decorated or styled myself. So I have two options here that I wanted to share. One where we actually can creatively decorate an existing planter, and then another option would be where we're actually repurposing something that we already have in our home. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start with the first one, which will be repurposing something that we already have. So you guys, I love candles, so I do buy candles a lot, and this right here is actually an old candle that I used, and I decided to repurpose this. This is a great way to either turn it into a cash pole, or perhaps you could actually drill a hole into it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm more than likely going to use this as a cash pole or a propagation station type of thing. So let me just show you the materials for what I have in mind for this particular one right here. So of course we have the little repurposed candle. We're going to use a paintbrush. We're going to need baking soda, and I'll show you what we're doing. Here we have a little bit of glitter. I have Mod Podge, and I have some basic white acrylic paint. So I'm going to more or less paint this, but I want to create some form of a texture to it, if you will. And traditionally, you guys, when I do this, I usually use more earth tones such as blues and browns and maybe barn red to create maybe like a terracotta type style. But today I'm going to do something a little different, and so we're going to use white. So I have a paper plate, and the acrylic paint along with, well, the glitter and the paintbrush, baking soda even, you can get those things from any general dollar store. But my Mod Podge as well as the acrylic white paint was acquired through Michael's. Now these were just, believe it or not, just regular items that I have in my home already, because I do like working a lot with my hands, and I also have other family members in my home that are creative as well. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so I'm just going to some white paint here. And I probably should have brought one other thing. Give me 1 second. I thought I had all the materials that I needed, and I realized that I needed something to stir my paint mixture up with. And so I have this plastic fork. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take the baking soda. I already poured my white acrylic paint on top, and then we're going to go ahead and pour some baking soda into this paint. The baking soda more or less acts as a texturizer for when I actually paint. So as you see right here, mixing it in. Now I probably am going to need more baking soda to get that consistency that I'm looking for. And what I'm actually looking for, you guys, is something a little bit more of a mound or lumpy hill. So I kind of just mix it until I see fit that it meets what I'm looking for. So you see how it's starting to clump up? That's what I'm looking for, something to kind of clump up. And I probably need to add a little bit more to it to give it that clumpy feel that I'm after. Okay. And what I have right here is like a trash bag type of situation. Okay, this may be a little bit too thick, and I just added a little bit too much, so I'm gonna have to add some more paint to kind of loosen the clumps up a little bit. Okay, and here we are. Yes, it's giving me that clumpiness that I wanted. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. Sometimes it does take a couple of tries, you guys, to get that consistency that I want. I think I want to just add a little bit more. Okay. Okay. So now I got the texture that I wanted. It's kind of like a, almost like a stucco type of feel. Yes, this is exactly what I'm after right here. So now I'm going to do something a little different. I wanted to have the white do a little bit of sheen or shine or shimmer. And this is my first time actually trying this, so I'm not quite sure whether or not if it is going to work out. If it does, great. But if not, I'll just improvise and figure out something else as we go along. Like I said, this is very creative. It's more or less about your creativity level as well as what you're willing to try and see what works. So like I said, I got this from the dollar store as well, so I'm just going to mix some of this silver glitter into this mixture here. Okay, so kind of coated it somewhat, and yeah, kind of mixing into it, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to use a paintbrush. Like I said, it's just a regular paintbrush that you can get at any dollar store. So, and I'm not going to paint the bottom. My main focus is just going to be on the sides. And it's kind of thick, you guys, so you're not really, I'm going to brush it on here. But you see how it's creating a texture look to it, and I kind of like that. So little clumps here and there. And once again, like I said, this is like a first top coating. You can kind of like, I'm just painting it on first. Trying to make sure I cover this yellow. Let's see. So y'all let me know, do y'all try to come up with creative ways to repurpose something, or you know, embellish what you already have to make something look a little nicer? I try to, whenever I can, you know, I'm into trying to save as much money as possible, but also I like working with my hands, so any creative way, anything I can come up creatively speaking, I kind of go for it. Okay, so see how it's creating it's creating some kind of texture, and I like textures and things like that. So, but now what I'm going to do, because I kind of painted it on there, now I'm going to work on trying to like create, like I said, texture. Almost like stucco for any of y'all that may have been in like the construction industry. And now I'm just kind of tapping it. It's creating like a mound effect, if you will. I don't know, I think it, so I'm more or less just blotting it and creating that hill or the mound. You see that? I don't know, I'm starting to really like it. And just a mound effect, so you kind of like just adding a layer of something to the surface. It doesn't have to be perfect, which is what's the best part about doing this project. It's your own creation. You can pretty much style it and do however you feel. So that's what I'm doing until I get the desired look that I'm after. I kind of like doing that. Y'all let me know if y'all are creative out there. Do y'all do any paints or anything that y'all may do? Do y'all decorate pots or repurpose something for you make planters for your plant babies? I'm interested to know. Now, I really like how it looks right here. See how I got like, it's just like texturized, and I wanted to shimmer a little bit, so I think what I'm going to do, let's see, I want to put a little bit more in this area right here, kind of like even out that texture. The cool part about doing like artwork is it's like yours, never to be duplicated by anybody, and not even yourself. Sometimes you could create that one of a kind thing. Let me put a little bit, I just want a little bit of these right there. And let's see, I'm trying to be really careful here. So I might just take a little bit and just blotch that because it was looking a little smooth, and I just wanted to go over it again, making sure. I just want to blotch it again, kind of like take away some of that looseness. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now, I had this in my mind. My thought process was to go ahead and add the what is this? I'm losing my train of thought, you guys. Isn't that crazy? Add the sparkles to make it like shine. So that's really why I had attempted to actually put it in the mixture. Now I do see it showing a little bit here, but I'm not really feeling great about it. So what I'm actually going to do is just pour some out and just hand sprinkle it. So, okay, so pick up this mixture. I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle it. If you have any kids too that you want to introduce into the plant world, this would actually be a fun family thing to do, to get them a little bit more active and creative part of the process. Usually children tend to adhere to or enjoy things that we actually be excited about and we involve them in. So this is also a thing like what I would call a cool little family project. So you can kind of like put as much or less glitter on there as you wish. If you didn't want to use glitter, it's all up to you. It's all about your creativity level. And let's see, I want to add some more. I really wanted to show some peaks of sparkles and sheens and shine, kind of like glamorize it a little bit, if that makes sense. So I'm really dousing it. Okay. I think I'm liking it. I don't know. What do y'all think? Okay, so now I need to let this dry, and then we can move on to option number 2 as far as decorating and styling. Be right back. Okay, so now I cleaned up my area a little bit, so now we're going to try to decorate an existing planter. This is an excellent way to actually save some money, as well as going for a aesthetic style that you may carry in your home. And I believe I watched someone's channel that really sparked this idea. I couldn't believe I didn't really think of it on my own, considering that I'm a crocheter and I do a lot of things with my hands. But I really do love this particular style of decorating your existing planters. So let me just share with you guys the materials that I have. Of course, you have to have your plastic pot. I have some burlap. You always want to make sure you have some scissors. For the design style that I have in my mind, I wanted to also use this twine, this jute twine, as well as this white ribbon. These, once again, these are also all items that I actually had in my home already. And so you guys, I am a crocheter, for those of you who may not know that. But I believe I did share it on one of my earlier videos. And so I decided to go ahead and I pre-made this border, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do with that. I also have, of course, my handy dandy hot glue gun. And so now I am ready to go with the vision that I have for my plants. It doesn't take my planter, it doesn't take much, you know, you just go with your gut feeling and any creativity that you have, and trust me, we're all creative in our own way. So it's just about finding your niche and discovering what works best for you. So I already pre-cut, see, is this the one I want to use? Yes. I already pre-cut my burlap, and I want to cover the pot. So give me a second. So I'm going to start off, actually let me pull that. Start off by I want to make my line. And it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect here, you guys. Just enough for you to say, you know, I'm satisfied with it. Plus, usually when you create your own stuff, nobody knows anything about any errors or issues, or if it was a mess up or a mistake, unless outside of yourself, really. No one is going to know that it's not straight, that it's crooked in any kind of way. People are just going to look at the finished product. Nobody really takes in consideration like the time and effort that it takes to actually create it. So don't worry about any imperfections. I always say, when you, especially handcraft items, imperfections is your personalized stamp on something that you hand make. So I try not to be so critical with my creations. I love just kind of going with an idea, like I see it in my head, and it's pretty cool that I can take something that I have in my head and bring it to light. And so that's how I feel like I'm doing with this. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure it is as straight as possible though, because I'm a little stickler with that. Just before that dries. Y'all comment below. Let me know, do y'all decorate y'all existing plant pots in style, or repurpose any items for your plant babies? It's just really creative way to express yourself, and not only that, you can also save some coins as well. So let me use this. I'm actually gonna put a little layer right here, a layer right there, and try to pull and make it straight. So now I have the planter covered. In my visions and my designs, I like concentrating on little textures, different patterns, and things like that. And I always say less is more. So I wouldn't leave it like this because I'm not really feeling that green with the burlap. So that's where this twine is actually going to come in handy. I'm just going to basically wrap this around continuously. And yeah. Start off. And you want to just wrap it around and then use the hot glue whenever possible, or whenever you see that you should use it. And believe it or not, you guys, hot glue guns are not as expensive as they used to be. They're quite readily available. I've had mine for a couple of years now, but I've actually noticed that, is it Dollar General? I want to say it's Dollar General. I'm not too sure. I believe it is Dollar General though, that's actually selling these. Can you believe that? They're having a whole, have y'all noticed that? Like a crafter corner that they have, and I think that's pretty cool. So as I'm double wrapping it around, and I'm kind of pushing it up because I don't want to have any gaps in between. So I may actually speed up this process for y'all so y'all won't get bored. Okay. See that? Now, if you ever work with your children with this, just as a safety measure so that they won't get burned from the hot glue, because trust me, I've had a lot of um, burnt issues with hot glue. You could try other glues, such as maybe crazy glue. But once again, this would have to be like a supervised type of thing if you're going to have small kids involved. But I don't think, I'm not sure. I never really tried like Elmer's glue. I don't know if this would adhere to it or hold very well. It's just that I've been using hot glue for a long time, and this is just my go-to when I want to. Okay, so I'm trying to push it up because I want a very tight, and then when I push it up, I kind of like put a dab of hot glue here, pushing it up and pressing. So you wrap it as many times as possible. But in this case, I believe I could actually stop because of what I'm going to do with other things to embellish it a little bit. But let me just make sure I have it wrapped. And I think this jute rope, I believe I've seen it in at the dollar store as well. The one that I've brought, this one I've had for a while, but I actually got it from Michael's. Michael's have pretty good things. You just gotta, I say, get the items when they're on sale, because certain things, the craft items, they can be kind of pricey. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. Is a gap right here in between, but you're kind of not going to see it with my next step that I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually cut it and just end it with the hot glue. I really like I said, I'm going for texture, as you can see right here. I love that brown, but then also this brown it's like a different feel. So I'm going for textures. When you look at it, you'd be like, ah, that really it looks nice, really, personally, in my personal opinion, already by itself. But I'm going to add small embellishments that really make a statement, in my personal opinion. And I'm going to start with this white ribbon that I've had for ages, and always try to save something, and you never know when you can actually use it. And I think I'm going to use it to wrap it around the bottom, like a bottom border. Like I said, you don't really have to do this, because I think the pot looked fine just like this. If you was going for just that complete earth tone, I'm just adding a border, like I said, for embellishment, and plus because I already had like an idea in my head as far as where I wanted to go with the design, and so I'm sticking with that. And let's see. And also I want the edge to be as seamless as possible. That's another reason why I am kind of doing that, to kind of cover up any of that green if it's showing. And I don't know, I just think it does add something very nice to it. I don't know, y'all let me know. Looking good so far? I think so. Pulling and making sure it stays flat and pushing. So now, just gonna right there, pushing down on it. Okay. Like I said, I've been burnt so many times with this hot glue gun. I'm kind of getting immune to it. Okay, so now we cut it, and then I'm gonna just a little dab and push it down. So, what do you think? Yeah, I think it looks good. So, my last and final thing I'm actually going to do with this pot is I wanted to add a trim. So that was the reason why, actually I need to glue this right here. Glue it here. See any gaps, you could actually add a small dab of glue and then push it and hold it in place. So the reason why I wasn't too, I guess, anal on covering this part is because I wanted to take the crochet piece that I pre-made to wrap around as a border. Now, there's other options outside of this, because I know everybody is not a crocheter, but I just decided to add my own creativity on this because I wanted a decorative border to go around the edge. But if you are not able to do this, which is fine, you can also buy decorative borders. This is called burlap trim, and let me just pull a small piece. And I think you can get this from the dollar store too, you guys. You see the design on here? So you actually could put this, let me just show you how it looks. You could actually put that around, and that would be very decorative as well. But since I was already using the white trim, like I said, I already had a vision in my mind. Since I was going to use the white trim, I just thought it would be good if I create a white border as well. So that's what I did. And I'm actually just gonna, like I said, just hot glue this. And keep it moving. I'm gonna glue like every 3 half shells that I kind of created. If y'all crochet, y'all know what I mean. As far as the half shells. So I think I'm okay. So this clearly came apart. So let me fix that before I continue. Oh yeah, the whole thing came down. Let me fix that, you guys. Kind of like that string, so I'm gonna try to cut the string. Okay. Okay. So now, of course, when you work with hot glue, sometimes the glue is like the strings are hanging all over the place. But I pressed it. And what do y'all think? Oh, I think it looks pretty cool. And voila, just a decorative pot just like that. Doesn't take long, probably like a total of 30 minutes at best. And like I said, I love the texture of it because I love the half shells that I did on it. It plays, and then it's white. It's bouncing off of the white smooth along with the ripples of the jute rope. So I think it plays very well and looks nice. So now we're gonna go back to project number 1. This pretty much completes this. I'm going to set it to the side. Now, what I've been doing since we took time to focus on that pot is I actually took the first original pot that I was creating and giving it an opportunity to dry, because it's just one last final touch that we need to do to complete that project as well. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have given it time for it to dry. And so what I want to do is I want to seal what I just created. And so that's where the Mod Podge comes in hand. It acts as a sealant as well as like a gloss, so to speak. And it gives it a little slight glossy feel to it. Glossy shine. And like I said, it seals in everything that I just did. So usually when I do this, I just go one coating over it and I just let it dry. And the cool part about it is it pretty much takes on, it doesn't like add a color or anything like that. It's just gonna seal it in for me. And I may have to, in this case, I may have to blot it now that I see, because some parts dried but maybe not dried completely, and that's okay. Like I said, I just want to seal it, especially up at the top. And let's see, just seal it, give it a smooth shine to it. Let me actually move this. I probably should have poured a piece, some of this into the, like traditionally, I don't really need it. So yeah, so you just want to blot it and just more or less just add to the sheen of it. And then I can just like show you guys the finished product. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I want to make sure it's completely dry. I don't really want to mess it up. I want it to stay smooth like this. So I'm going to show, I'll finish the actual painting it off camera, you guys, and then I'm going to insert a picture somewhere where you can actually see the finished product, and you're going to actually get a chance to see what it looks like with plants in there. So y'all take a quick look. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't know for you. I think it turned out pretty good. It's very, good with creativity as well as styling, and you put that beautiful plant in there, it just makes it pop even more. So thanks so much for coming along with this quick, well, not been so quick, it's almost like 40 minutes of time running, but thank you for coming with this interactive way of creating and repurposing items for your plants. And that pretty much ends this video, you guys. Keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planting things, subscribe to this channel, push up those thumbs up. I appreciate any support you guys can give me. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. Until next time, guys, much love. Bye.